think about that, huh?
I can yes and amen that. You need to. I'm shocked that I had never heard of this guy. I watched that video the first time and I ugly cried.
Think about that, huh?
It's got my wheels turning and
Think about that, huh?
that's the Jesus that Mormons believe in. Dallas Jenkins. Is that the Jesus that you presented in this TV series?
Think about that, huh?
Phenomenal album, Irons in the Fire, Zeta Blacksmith.
Think about that, huh?
Hey everybody, welcome back to Unsolicited, episode 44. I am your host, Norm, the Master's Dog Dunham, aka the Evangelical Norm. So Unsolicited is just that. It is my unsolicited opinion on all things Christian entertainment and beyond. So books, movies, music, videos, whatever it is, I take a look at it. I look at these things from a Christian worldview. The nuts and bolts of this podcast is really Christian hip-hop and album reviews. As guys that I know and like drop new albums, I give those a review and encourage you to go out and pick those albums up and support our brothers and sisters who are making good quality Christian hip-hop. It's been a while since I've done movies or books or anything like that, but I'm trying to get more into doing more of those. Yeah, I am the president of the Department of Retendancy Department. So trying to get into doing more movie reviews, book reviews, stuff like that as they come up. Again, there's not a whole lot of Christian movies out there that we can really look at a lot, but when they do come out, I want to be able to bring those to you and present them to you and let you know what's going on. And then also, I'll do some things that are outside of the Christian entertainment sphere, secular artists, videos mainly that go viral and intersect with the Christian worldview, as you know, as we're looking at them. Things like I did a response to Childish Gambino back in the day. This is America. I've done responses to Lucas Joyner, most recently to Tom McDonald and the song that he did, Fake Woke. So a lot of those come from you guys sending me stuff that you want me to take a look at. One in particular that's coming out later today, I'm actually going to drop one that one of the guys I know sent me and asked me to look at a video, a guy I'd never heard of, says he's Christian, but not, the few hours from now that video will drop and you can check that out and see what I mean. But so if there's anything that you want me to take a look at, I take requests. So leave me a comment in the comment section here. While you're at it, why don't you hit subscribe and give the video a like, because apparently that helps with algorithms and more people find me the more you like and subscribe to these things. So subscribe on YouTube, hit the like, hit the notification button, get all the content that we release there. You can also pick anything up over on Gab TV. All the same content that I put out on YouTube, I put out on Gab TV as well. If you're looking for the free speech alternative to YouTube, Facebook, and so on, Gab is where you'll find that for the most part. Or you can get the audio podcasts wherever you get your audio podcasts, Amazon, iTunes, Google Play, you name it, you can get it. So leave me a comment if there's something you want me to take a look at. Or you can hit me up on Twitter, the Evangelical Norm, or the Master's Dog, either one of those accounts on Twitter, or Norm Dunham over on Facebook. You'll find me hanging out in Reform Bars, Wrath and Grace Radio, Cross-Examine groups. Those are the places that I spend most of my time on Facebook. So you can hit me up there and let me know anything you'd like me to respond to, and I'll be happy to take a look at it and get them up and get a response to those things. So today we are jumping in. It's been a long time since I've done a movie review, but there's a movie that came out. It actually came out in 2018. I guess it was in select theaters, but there's still a push for people to take a look at it. It's available on Amazon Prime is where I rented it. My wife and I watched it together. And you can purchase it there as well. I believe you can get it on Google Play to rent or purchase as well. So, and those are the places. And I kind of play 6 Degrees to this movie Small Group. So I listened to the Babylon Bee podcast. If you don't listen to that podcast, you should check it out. They're Kyle Mann, Ethan Nicole, hilarious guys. The Babylon Bee is amazing. The interviews that they get to do and just the shows they do, I love. But through Babylon Bee podcast, I was introduced to Kira Davis, who she's a writer over at Red State. And then she does her podcast, Just Listen to Yourself. And so that's how I was introduced to her. I really like her podcast because I feel like she's very much like me, trying to maintain a centered view, as Kurt Kennedy would say, #stay balanced. So she kind of tries to look at things from both sides. Obviously, she is a conservative, which I'm a conservative, and so that's where she falls on. But she's willing to look at things from both sides. Is not just shutting out the opposite worldview and not listening at all. But so I really love her podcast. But through her podcast, I found out about this movie. And I had never heard of it, didn't realize it was out in theaters. I try to keep up with like a lot of the limited release Christian movies that go into theaters, and support those as much as possible, because we do want to be supporting these to where we can get more and more. If we really want Christian entertainment, we have to be willing to get out and support Christian entertainment. So, excuse me. So I hadn't heard of it. But there's been a big push. Seen a lot of trailers drop, even as late as December of 2020, even though the movie came out in 2018. The trailer I'm going to play for you was put up in December of 2020. So there's still a push to go see this movie. So I'm excited to be able to give you a review and let you know what I think of it, and you can go check it out as well. So we're going to jump in, and we're going to go ahead and play the trailer. As you see, Small Group, the movie, trailer number 3. We're going to play this trailer, and then we'll talk about what I thought about the movie. So here is the trailer for Small Group.
We're here to make a movie about the dwindling influence of Christianity in America.
Babe, have you checked the bank account today?
Gotta go where the work is, babe. Here we are.
This place is a dump.
The film, this job, it's not what I thought it was. He wants me to wear spy cameras and trick people and lie and... What are you talking about? I'm just not gonna get anywhere in big church.
We should get you guys in a small group.
What's that?
It's gold. It's gold. Yeah.
We had a couple who, they're not with us anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
No, they didn't die. They moved. Basically dead to me, of course.
Let's hear from Shane's new friends.
I'm Roman Cooper.
You look like a coop. Can we call you Coop?
Coop it is.
Gavel.
Or to be cleansed by the blood of Christ and view others through a prism of love.
Are we, I don't know, stepping on sacred ground or something?
This I can't do.
You're under contract, cowboy.
Have you seen it?
Seen what?
You are trending.
What are you doing here? Shane, don't.
The things that you've done, you've done.
I'm gonna make this right.
Yeah, come on over.
These are my friends. How am I gonna get these people to open up? You know, show me some truth, because if I don't, this thing crashes and burns.
All right, so there you go. There is the trailer for Small Group, available DVD, Blu-ray, and digital. Again, like I said, you can get it Amazon. Prime is where I rented it and watched it with my wife. So I have to admit, coming into the movie, it's directed by Matt Chastain, who wrote, directed, and acted in it. He played the kind of the funny guy in the small group, the comedian, is what I've heard him referred to by, I think my wife called him the comedian. But so, written, directed by Matt Chastain, acted in by Matt Chastain. I have to admit, I'm really skeptical of Christian movies. Part of it is my own issue. I really want every Christian movie to be a evangelistic presentation of the gospel and so on, which they aren't always. And they don't have to be. Again, to make a good Christian film, or to be a Christian filmmaker that makes a good film, is really, it's just you got to have good acting, good writing, a good plot, and so on. The problem is so many Christian movies, and the kind of the bar that has been set is that they will be these, take your unsaved friend to see this movie and they can hear the gospel and get saved. Well, the problem is the majority of the Christian movies that come out don't have a solid presentation of the gospel, anything that I would be happy about. This, I don't think, has that, but it's not the intention. This movie isn't made to take your unsaved friend to come get saved. This is to have a movie that is entertaining, that you as a Christian don't have to worry about fast forwarding, covering your kid's eyes, doing anything like that, getting some service that takes and edits out the foul language or anything like that. This movie is intended to have a good experience watching a movie as a Christian without any of that stuff that you have to deal with most movies. It's funny. I saw a meme about this, and my wife and I experienced this with my daughter. I watched Cobra Kai, and for the most part, me watching it didn't, half of the stuff didn't register until we sat down to watch it and our daughter was in the room, and it's like, whoa, I didn't even. And then you go back to the movies that I watched in like the early 80s and late 80s and early 90s, and so many of those movies that we look back and go, oh yeah, they were pretty good, and now you watch them and it's like, oh wait a minute, there's some real garbage in there. So this is a movie that has no garbage in it. I will say that the first few minutes of the movie, like I said, I came in skeptical because I come into all Christian movies skeptical. But I came in and I just felt like the first 10 minutes, the acting was not what I expected. Not great. We'll put it that way. It got much better. It really did. The actors that are in this movie, the main character, R. Scott Cooper, is played by Sterling Hurst. And I think it was just that first car ride coming from California to Georgia, kind of the supposed to be cute banter between dad and daughter and wife and so on. It felt canned to me, but that was the only real part of it that felt really canned. Once he got into the guts of the movie, it got a whole lot better. The other thing that I thought was the redneck neighbor played by Caleb Hoffman. When I first saw him, there's an encounter with him. You see him right away on his motorcycle when they first get up to the house. Then there's an encounter with him at the pet store and stuff like that. I really was like, man, this guy is way over the top. It's just he did way too much with this redneck neighbor, but that is even redeemed as the movie goes on and it comes into a really quality portion of the movie that is just the way that Matt did with bringing him around to an endearing character rather than a guy that you're just like, a corny annoyance from across the street was really well done. So the other characters, Emily Dunlop, who plays Mary Cooper, does a great job. Of course, Matt Chastain did a really good job as his character. Nelson Bonilla, the guy who plays Sam, who heads up the boys rec center kind of thing in Guatemala when they do their missions trip to Guatemala, played a phenomenal character and really good acting in that. And then of course the boss, Robert Reichel Jr., who played Ballard Nelson, he played the heavy to a T. So the acting was really good. It kind of took a few minutes to hook me in, but once I was hooked in, it was really, really good. There are scenes that you're going to laugh like crazy, and then you're going to cry in this movie. It really does do a really good job of bringing everything together. And if you've ever been in a small group, you're going to watch this and go, you're going to start identifying people that you know in that small group, in their small group, because they really put it together well. And so the plot of the movie was really good. It was very original, something that I would have never thought of, to do a Christian movie with a guy kind of going undercover doing a hit piece, obviously by a producer who is very angry with Christianity. So the way they did that and then the way they redeemed it was really, really good. So you can see some of those things in the trailer as well. But I was, again, somewhat skeptical of the whole missions trip thing set up, because again, my own personal issues with missions trips and what they should be as opposed to what they are. But the way they portrayed that, and then the twist in that missions trip, and I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to give out any spoilers, even though this movie's been out for almost coming up on 3 years now. I'm not going to spoil anything because I really want you to go check it out, rent it, buy it, do whatever, but take some time out to sit down and watch this movie. It's a really good movie, well worth your time. Matt Chastain did a really good job writing, directing, and acting in this. I would have no problem recommending this to anybody to take an evening out of your time, while everybody's stuck at home not doing anything. Take an evening out, sit down. You can bring everybody in. You can watch this with everyone in your family and just really have a good time. Or get your small group together and watch it with your small group, and you really will laugh quite a bit and cry together and have a good time watching this movie. So there you go. That is Small Group, the movie, available at Amazon Prime, Amazon Video, wherever you get whatever it is, Amazon. Excuse me. Google Play movies and TVs, you can pick it up there. And then if you go to the website, smallgroupmovie.com, you can find other places where you can pick this up. I would say check out Matt Chastain and see, follow him on Twitter, follow Kira Davis, follow Babylon B, check out those podcasts, and give a shout out to those guys, because it was because of them that I actually found this movie and really, really enjoyed the movie. So there you go, guys. Small Group, the movie. Go check it out. And as always, preach the gospel at all times. Use words. They're necessary. And until next time, Soli Deo Gloria.